So at this moment, we already have a very good idea about the hateoas and why to use it in our RESTful API. The good news here is that we are going to start the implementation of this in every one of our models. In fact, we are going to use the transformers for every one of our models class by class. During this class, we are going to implement the hateoas stuff for the category model, using, of course, the category transformer. As you are going to see, the only thing that we have to do is to add some additional entries in the array for the categories transformer with the links between every possible model. So let's go to our transformations, and we have here the category transformer. By definition, the hateoas are going to be included in an element called links. Imagine these like the links that we have in a website, for example. So between different sections of a website, we have links pointing to several sections. So here the sections are resources. So from the section of categories, we have the links from the products of that category or the sellers of that category, and of course the category itself. So the first link is the self link. It means the link that points to the resource itself. In fact, it is going to be inside another array, and there we have the href element. This is basically the link. Now, the link is going to be very easy to implement. We are going to use the root helper and use the name of the roots. Fortunately for us, Laravel, when we are using resource controllers or resource roots, is creating automatically the names of the roots. So for example, to show a specific category, we have the name of the root to be categories.show. As you may imagine, the categories show needs to receive the ID of the category to show, so we just need to pass it as a second parameter. And we can proceed similarly with the other links. So, for example, we want to show the buyers for that specific category. So we are going to have a link called category.buyers. And the root is going to be categories.buyers. That index. In this case, we are not going to execute the show method. We are going to execute the index method. So again, it needs to receive the category ID in order to show the list of buyers for this category. Then we have the list of products followed by the sellers, the transaction, and that's all. So let's do it really fast. At this point, we have the relationship between category and any other model, excepting the user, of course, because we don't have any specific endpoint or route in our RESTful API to relate the categories with the users. So we have every possible endpoint related with categories here. So let's check if everything is working properly. We have here the list of categories. So as we can see, we have now the links element in the response, and here we can obtain the category itself. Then we can obtain, for example, the buyers for a specific category. Then the products, the sellers, and finally the transactions. As you can see, it is going to be very easy now to go between different sections or endpoints of our RESTful API. So if it is easy for us just clicking the links, just imagine how easy it's going to be that for a client or a user of our RESTful API. Basically, that client only needs to obtain the respective link with the model or the relationship that it wants to obtain. So, if some client want to obtain, for example, the buyers for the category number 5, it doesn't need to build the URL by itself. You just need to use the links relationships and follow this here. So, we have completely implemented our first hateoas stuff for the category model. See you in the next class to continue with a new model.